Welcome back to another video on the JJ Think Tank. I've got a bit more time on my hands today, so I really want to talk about this Enneagram Personality Test. And looking back, retroactively looking back in hindsight, I can state with confidence that this personality test can really help you in life. It really can. Obviously, psychology is a controversial discipline because it claims to be a science, but as I think Sam Vaknin rightly points out, psychology can never be a science. Yes, psychology is just a descriptor. It's like a narrative. Yes, psychology can narrate about people, about their behaviors, etc. Because the mind is so unique. I mean, the mind is the most complex thing in the universe, and this is why I don't know. I don't know if psychology can ever be a true science. Yes, I mean I guess it can come to some generalizations, but I don't think it can ever be a true science. But this doesn't mean that it cannot help us. It can, obviously. We've got a lot of different personality tests out there. We've got one by, well, for example, Jordan Peterson. We've got his personality test, I think, that he shares. I don't know if it's his. Maybe it's just an adaptation of a previous one. We've got other personality tests, but I took this personality test because my sisters told me to do so, and I did the test maybe once or twice, and I was shocked at the results. I was shocked as to how accurate it was, and this is actually a good thing because when you finally realize kind of who you are, if you understand your personality, your character, kind of your strengths and weaknesses, it can actually help you a lot because you know what you need to work on in order to become more whole, rather than to become more, fragmented and dissociated. Yes, so I really do recommend this personality test. Now, I think I've come across some criticism that it is based on some new age guy who was an occultist or a bit dodgy. Gurdjieff. So he was a philosopher, Georgy Ivanovich Gurdjieff. Now, perhaps, but then I found out that it's actually, I think this guy developed it, this man here, this gentleman, Dr. David Daniels. Yes, Dr. David Daniels, and then I researched him online. I went on his website, and here he is, and it's about, yes. So here I didn't actually write this in my article. I didn't talk about this in my article, but this is important, I guess. So what is the Enneagram? So based on David Daniels' definition, it's about the internal structure of our inner world, and this is important because self-discovery is key. Because when we don't really discover our true nature, our soul, our self, then we're lost. Yes, and this is a good way to find yourself, to understand yourself more, because it doesn't take long. I don't know, 5-10 minutes. You can take the test. And it I guess it works because it notices structures in your being. Yes, this is what it says here. It's important to understand when learning a system like this one that we are human beings who have been structured by various patterns of being, aka a type, which represents both our temperament as well as its various adaptive strategies. This man, he looks like if you look at his face, he looks like a good man. He's got think he doesn't seem dodgy to me. So yes, this is the test, and I'll go into my results in a minute. And I was shocked. I must say, it was a revelatory experience. It was a kind of a mini revelation in my life. I finally kind of understood myself. I accepted myself for who I was, because you can't really change yourself that much, unfortunately. You can't really change yourself. You have to make do with what you have. Because when you do so, you finally start to love yourself in a positive sense. Yes. Not a narcissistic love, just a normal, healthy love. And when you do so, you start to love others, yes? Because you can only start to love others when you love yourself. And this is why I began my article with this quote by Dr. David Daniels. By learning about ourselves more deeply, we can give others the gift of our presence and full attention. That's a brilliant quote. It's a brilliant quote. The older I get, the more it rings true. And this again reiterates my point that I think everyone should take this test. I really recommend it. And there are eight types. Yes. So we've got the peacemaker. Well, sorry, I was making number one. Number one, perfectionist. Number two, the giver. Number three, the achiever. Number four, the individualist. Number five, the investigator. Number six, the skeptic. Number seven, the enthusiast. Number eight, the challenger. And number nine, the peacemaker. So you can check for yourself. You can do the test and then find out where you belong. And yes. Anyway, let's go into my article now. So the test consists of a series of questions, after which you are given a summary and classification of your personality type. And I think there are maybe 40 questions in total. So it takes 10 minutes, maybe a bit longer. And what's important, the reason why I should take this test is because if you're at a stage in life where you still don't notice perhaps your weaknesses or your strengths, then eventually either you will dissociate or you will start to become a more coherent whole. Now, obviously, we want to move in the direction of wholeness, yes? We want to become more whole. We don't want to dissociate, because when we dissociate, our life starts to fragment and dissociate as well at the same time, yes? So by doing this test, we can find out about our weaknesses. We can know our weaknesses, our main motivations, kind of the main behaviors that we tend to have, and therefore we can kind of picture in our minds what will happen if we continue with these behaviors, or if we start slightly kind of adapt and change our course, and start adopting new behaviors, yes, new patterns of behavior, and actually confront our fears and be willing to take a risk and bet on our kind of motivations and our ideas and what we want from life, yes. And this is important because when you're older, you don't want to end up bitter, yes, and frustrated. You don't want to look back and think, I could have done more. I could have tried and failed rather than not try at all, yes. It's better to try and fail than to not try at all and regret doubly afterwards. So yes, this test really helps in that regard. So let's talk about my results. So I got 5 wing 4. This is kind of the result that you get. You get one main number, but then it's linked to another one. Your personality kind of is linked to one of the other types, yes. And because I fall predominantly under type 5, I am the investigator, and also classified sometimes as the philosopher or the iconoclast if you have traits from the type 4 personality type. So So I have yes, my label would be the investigator or philosopher or iconoclast, kind of a mixture, yes, of these. And when I read the description and both the positive aspects of the personality, kind of what people who have this personality are able to achieve, but also what they tend to get involved in, what behaviors they start to adopt if things don't go to plan, was really I was just in shock. I was like, wow, this really explains my personality quite accurately, and this is one of the definitions of this personality. Well, a short description. Obviously, you can find many different descriptions of all these personalities online, but this was one of them, and it said 5 Wing 4 combines the intellectual curiosity and detachment with Type 4's emotional depth, introspection, and creativity. And then after reading more and more about the results, both the negative aspects and the positive ones, again I keep repeating myself, but I was shocked, how accurate it was, because I have this tendency. Obviously, in general, I'm more of an introvert. For most of my life, I've always been an introvert, really. I remember when I was younger, I was mute. I was quite mute. I didn't really speak at all. As I was growing up as well, in general, if I came into contact with strangers or with people who I didn't know well, I was mute. Didn't really say much. Kind of just full of fear and anxiety. Obviously, when I was with people I knew I could kind of trust, or if I knew them well, then I would open up a lot. So, if I was part of a friendship group, or if I had, when I had a couple of friends in primary school, with them, obviously I opened up a lot. But the introvert is this type of personality that it's not good. Yes, when it comes to social interaction, he needs to work on this a lot. As I've grown older, I've tried to really work on this to become better at speaking, become better when approaching strangers, when engaging in small talk, and yes, the older I get, the better I get at this. I'm much better than before. I don't really have this autism anymore, so I'm happy about this, and yes, so when it comes to intellectual curiosity, so I've definitely always had this. It came and went. Obviously, I had periods in my life when I wanted to kind of break free from this because I thought it was a bit weird, a bit geeky. I guess partly it was instilled by my dad as well, because my dad he emphasised the importance of education, reading books, etc. So I guess it stems from him, and I guess my emotional depth perhaps stems more from my mother, my kind of introspection, perhaps my creativity as well. Well, I guess I can I definitely see that I have these sides to my personality. So yes. In general, yes, I like to read a lot of books from various disciplines, really, because I try to create this kind of structure in my mind, this worldview in my mind that helps me to kind of be protected against the harsh reality of life. Yes, because this is what the personality test includes. Yes, when it analyzes the investigator type. Yes, it says that this type of personality tries to build systems of thought and ideas in order to kind of protect themselves from reality, from the outside world, etc. Yes, and obviously to a degree this is good, but then the problem is that such personalities, they need to act also on their ideas. They need to start engaging in the real world. Yes, they need to start to confront reality instead of withdrawing and just hiding all the time. Yes, so this is why if you have this personality type, you tend to fall into depression, melancholy, nihilism as well, eventually pessimism, because you're in your bubble, in your own world. You're in your world too much. You're in your own little bubble, and you need to break this bubble. You need to expand a bit more. You need to socialize a bit more in order to have that balance. Yes, it doesn't mean that you totally. It doesn't mean that you give up your intellectual life. Yes, it's just that you need to start also interacting with other people. Yes, basically. And yes, I definitely noticed that this is true. There were times in my life when I was too kind of cut off from others, and eventually it backfired. Really, it wasn't good for me. Obviously, I I used this time to read a lot of books, to research on different topics that I found interesting, to develop my hobbies. So at periods in my life where I played on the piano quite a lot, because this was another way for me to boost my mental health, as I like to say, and and yes. So I don't think I have much more to say when it comes to this test and my results and why you should take it. But let me go into my article a bit more. Perhaps I'll find something that I missed out. Oh yes, this is a key one. So this is not a good trait either. So personalities that are 5-wing 4 also like to hoard time, energy, and resources for their thinking and analysing. And this is true about me. Yes, this is kind of true. I'm trying to stop this. Obviously, I need to have a balance. But obviously, I had periods in my life where I worked a lot, and I didn't even have time to do this intellectualizing and thinking. Yes, obviously, we all have to work. Yes, we all need money. So obviously, life forces you to stop doing this. Yes, but I guess it's just about finding the balance between working, living, developing your interests. Yes, your thinking, etc. Oh, another one. I forgot to mention this as well. Another negative aspect of the 5-wing 4 personality is their propensity to overthink. Obviously, when you overanalyze, you overanalysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis. There's that saying, isn't there? If you think too much, nothing changes in your life, really. I mean, yes, you can pick up a lot of wisdom, etc. You can become more intelligent because you read more books, etc. You become more knowledgeable, but ultimately, you won't be truly satisfied because you also need to take some action. Yes, and yes. The 5-wing 4 personality type also has a propensity to fantasize. So I've had these moments in my life where I fantasize too much about weird things, and yeah, I don't really do this anymore. As I've grown older, these phases of fantasy have decreased, and yes, this is obviously a good thing. Yes, I mean, I guess when you are a true artist, I guess imagination and fantasy, it does work in your favor. Yes, true artists, they perhaps they have this side to them where they fantasize so much that they end up creating this brilliant work of art. Yes, but I still don't really know if I am this kind of true artist. I don't think I am. I'm interested more in kind of philosophy, social sciences, and kind of the link between them, perhaps. I mean, I like to consume art. Obviously, I like to read books. I like to look at art. I like to read novels, science fiction novels. I like to listen to music. I like to play music. So I mean, perhaps yes, I'm a bit of an artist, but not a true one really. I'd like to improve my piano skills, but I guess that's about it when it comes to my artistic side. So yes, fantasizing is dangerous because it can lead to a distorted worldview. Because when you fantasize, you start to maybe, yes, you get a wrong, an incorrect picture of reality, an incorrect map of reality. You start to develop paranoid thinking that perhaps everyone's against you. This is what I notice sometimes, and this is obviously it's irrational, yes. So. Yes, I think that's all. I already mentioned that 5 and 4 personality has to learn to become vulnerable. This is a key. I mean, this applies to everybody, right? We are all scared of vulnerability. We're all scared to become perhaps vulnerable. Maybe other people are able to deal with this much more effectively, but a lot of people out there are scared to become vulnerable. Yes, and they refuse to engage with reality. I guess partly it's to do with our modern world, right? We can fall into the trap of thinking there's nothing really to achieve, so what's the point? Or there's no point trying anymore because yes, we've developed such a negative mode of thinking that we end up kind of just refusing to live. So I mean this issue is complicated. Yes, there's so many layers of meaning here, or so many different interpretations. We can talk about so many different topics when it comes to this. That yes. So see, I don't have all the answers. Everyone has to find their own way to manage, I guess, and to make life more bearable and to start living. Yes, because we want to also feel more alive. So yes. Anyway, I really do think this personality test will help a lot of people out there. You'll understand yourself more, and as I like to say, as I like to repeat on this channel, it will boost your mental health. It will definitely boost your mental health because you need to boost your mental health from multiple angles. From multiple angles. There's not you shouldn't just rely on one way. You need to attack your if you do have a tendency to depression, anxiety, melancholy. You need to kind of attack it from different angles. Yes, because then it starts to drop. It's what I've noticed so far in my life. Anyway, I think that's the end of the video for today. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you picked up some important information as you were listening. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. I appreciate you spending your time to listen to me and to what I have to say. If you liked the video, consider subscribing and giving a like. It will help me grow the channel and spread more vital information that I think will help. Definitely some people out there, yes. I definitely think it will help. So yes, if you like the video even more, consider donating at Buy Me a Coffee. I'll provide a link in the description. But yes, that's all for today. Once again, thank you for listening and take care.